Have you ever sat there, looking at the things you need to do, but just couldn't find the inspiration to start? You know you should do it. Write an email, go to the gym, start that project you've been putting off for a week. But in your head, a familiar voice says, "I'm not ready. I'm not inspired. I'll do it when I am." Sound familiar? You are not alone. Most of us grow up with an invisible but powerful belief. If you want it, you can do it. We wait. We wait until we feel excited. We wait until the energy comes back. We wait until we're in a better mood. And we call it waiting for inspiration. But there is a truth that, if not realized early, it will steal your whole life. Inspiration almost never comes exactly when you need it. It's like a breeze, fleeting, faint, comes and goes, and if you sit still, waiting for it to visit, you'll stay in the same place forever. I've been there. Mornings when I wake up, my to-do list is a mile long, and motivation is completely absent. I think, I need another cup of coffee. It's probably not the right time. I'll have to wait. Waiting for what? Waiting for a feeling that will never come. And then I realized something. Procrastination doesn't just waste time. It destroys your inner confidence. Because when you don't feel the emotion right pointing arrow, you procrastinate. When you procrastinate right pointing arrow, you start blaming yourself. Why don't I do it? Why am I so lazy? And that self-blame drains the remaining energy, making you feel even less like doing anything. A perfect loop to keep you standing still. Every day, you see others getting ahead. You see their discipline. They go far. And you think, they must have something special. They must want more than you? The truth is, no. They don't want more than you. They just don't wait to get started. It sounds simple, but change starts with one incredibly important realization. Inspiration is not a requirement to start. Action is what inspires. What we're missing isn't motivation. It's a first step, no matter how small, to breaking that vicious cycle. A first punch, a first line, a first step, even though you don't feel like it, even though you don't feel like it at all. But you do it anyway. Because you know, if you wait until you want to do something, then maybe you will never start. And if you've been waiting for a sign from the universe to take action, this is it. In the next section, I'll share with you the scientific reasons why emotions are unreliable, and why action is the only thing you need to break procrastination and enter the zone of true discipline. Don't take your eyes off the video. Together we're about to change the way you act, forever. Have you ever wondered why you can't get started on a task? Even though you know it's important? It's not because you don't have the time, nor because you don't have the skills. It's because you don't want to do. And we often let that dictate our entire day. I'm not in the mood. I'm not interested. I'm not ready to start. Sound familiar? In fact, this is a common psychological trap that many people fall into. We are taught, from a very young age, that we should do what we love, that we should listen to our hearts, that we should wait until we really want to. But here's the truth that no one tells you. Feelings are just signals, not compasses. It's a fleeting signal, influenced by 1,000 things. Whether you got enough sleep, what you ate for breakfast, whether you're stressed, what the weather is like outside, who just texted you. We think we control our lives. But if you let your emotions dictate your actions, You're giving control of your life to the weather, social media, and your caffeine levels. It sounds funny, but it's true. You cannot build a big life with small emotions. And most importantly, you can't wait until you want to do something. Because that kind of inspiration has no schedule. Inspiration is a strange visitor. It never sends a message saying, "I will arrive at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Be ready." No, it usually comes suddenly, as you type the first line at your desk. When you are tying your shoes to go out for a run. Or when you've already started. Successful people are not more inspired than you. They just don't wait for it. They understand that inspiration comes from action, not the other way around. They don't sit around waiting for inspiration to come. They create systems, set times, initiation rituals, self-designed commitments, so that when they do start, inspiration has a chance to strike. And if you still think you're unmotivated, listen to this. You are not weak. You are not lazy. You do not lack willpower. You just have a brain, like everyone else. Our brains, from the earliest times, were designed to conserve energy, avoid danger, and seek comfort. So when you're about to do something difficult, learn a new skill, start a new job, change your routine, your brain goes into overdrive. No, don't do it. It's dangerous. Too tired. Go back to bed. And the feeling of, "I don't want to," appears. But that feeling is not true. It's just a biological mechanism, a natural defense reflex. The problem is, if you believe it too much, you will miss out on a lot of valuable things in life. And what's more dangerous, it makes you stop believing in yourself. So instead of asking, "Do I want to do it?" ask again, "Can I start something small, even if I don't want to take back control?" You don't need inspiration to get started. You just need to start to create inspiration. And you deserve a life where you are in control, not dragged along by fleeting emotions. The interesting thing is that most of us think that we need motivation to get started. We need inspiration to get started. But the truth is quite the opposite. What you're waiting for, motivation, isn't really the cause. It's the effect. And that effect only comes when you start acting first. Let me give you an example. I have a friend who works in content creation. He writes every day, releases videos every week. One time I asked him, "How do you stay so inspired to create?" "There is no inspiration." He laughed. "I start first, inspiration comes later." It sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. Many studies in behavioral psychology have shown that positive emotions are not the beginning of action. The reward comes after action. When you actively do something, your brain starts to release dopamine, a neurotransmitter that makes you feel excited and want to continue. You know this. You've been there. You sit in front of a long to-do list, not wanting to get started. But then you say to yourself, "Well, let's just do it for 5 minutes." And then those 5 minutes turn into 30 minutes. Then an hour. And you almost forget that you were not inspired in the first place. It's not magic. It's the effect of motivated action. And this is not just happening to you. Think about gym goers. Do you think they are always motivated to get in the gym? Not at all. Many of them feel lazy like the rest of us. But they have a rule: action first. Then motivation follows. A fitness trainer once told me, "I don't go to the gym because I'm motivated. I'm motivated because I go to the gym. In other words, you don't need to feel ready to start. You just need to start to feel ready. And here's the important thing that many people are never taught. Action does not need to be accompanied by positive emotions. You don't need to feel good. You don't need to be confident. You don't need to be in a good mood. All you need is to start, even if it's just a small thing. Because every small action is a message you send to your subconscious mind. I am in control. And as you act, your subconscious mind begins to readjust your image of yourself. From, I am a lazy person, right pointing arrow to, I am a person who knows how to overcome procrastination. From, I have no motivation, right pointing arrow to, I am a person who acts regardless of emotions. That's how you rebuild confidence in yourself, not by positive thinking, but by taking concrete action. You might think, but I still feel tired. I still don't want to. Yes, that feeling is real, but the great thing is, you can take action even while that feeling is still there. You don't need to chase away laziness. You just need to move, even a little, to create new momentum. You see, action is like the first push on a giant wheel. It's hard at first. It's hard. It's not fun. But if you keep pushing, the wheel will turn. And when it turns, it creates force. It creates momentum. At that point, you don't need momentum anymore. You just need to keep the rhythm. If you're waiting for inspiration to start something important today, don't wait any longer. Just pick a small action. Do it even if you don't feel any positive emotions. And let that action create the inspiration you're looking for. Action is key, not because you have the motivation, but because you want to take back control of your life. Have you ever planned to do something, but then just never started? You tell yourself, I'll do it when I feel ready. But day after day, that feeling of readiness never comes. And so you procrastinate. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline. It's because, like everyone else, you're being controlled by 3 subtle psychological traps, without even realizing it. Blank. Underscore. Blank. The first trap is the fear of not being good enough. We don't dare to start because we are afraid of making mistakes. Afraid of the results not being as expected. Afraid that we are not as good as others. That's why many people spend months preparing carefully, researching more, and then never start. I know that feeling. I used to hesitate to write my first piece of content because I thought, I'm not good enough. What if people laugh? But then I learned something from Stoicism that completely changed the way I acted. Stoic said, actions are the only things you control. Results are not. You can't control how people react to what you do. But you can control how you start, even if it's not perfect. And when you dare to start, you have conquered your own fear. Blank. Underscore. Blank. The second trap that causes us to procrastinate is ambiguity. Sometimes you're not lazy, you just don't know where to start. You look at a goal that's too big, like writing a book, learning a new skill, building a career, and your brain immediately feels overwhelmed. It's like when you look up at the top of a mountain and think, how am I going to climb it? When things are unclear, the brain will find a way to avoid them. And the simplest way to avoid them is, let's think about it tomorrow. But you can reverse that with a very simple strategy. Make everything as specific and small as possible. Instead of, write a chapter, write pointing arrows start with, write the first 3 lines. Instead of, exercise for 1 hour, write pointing arrows start with, put on gym clothes and walk for 3 minutes. One small, specific, simple step can break hours of procrastination. Blank, underscore, blank. And then there is the most insidious trap of all, the fallacy of emotion. Have you ever said this to yourself? I'm not in the mood to do it today. I'm tired. I need to rest a little longer. I can do it tomorrow. Sounds reasonable, but the truth is, it's just procrastination disguised as nice talk. Stoic philosophy has a very clear perspective. Don't act out of emotion. Act out of discipline. Act like a soldier. Soldiers do not need to wait for a good mood to set out. They just know. Duty is duty, and they will do it. No matter the weather, no matter how they feel. And I believe you can too. You don't need positive emotions to get started. Just remind yourself, I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do, not because I feel like it. Blank, underscore, blank. Honestly, if we wait until we feel ready, good enough, inspired, we may never do anything important. So instead of looking for inspiration, design habits. Instead of waiting for motivation, do one small thing. And instead of being dragged along by emotions, be your own leader by taking action. Even if it's just the first step. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need the courage to start, although not perfect. There's one thing you'll notice when you look at people who always act fast. Always move ahead, always deliver on their commitments. They're not that different from you. They have their tired days, their mornings when they don't want to get out of bed, their distractions from social media, deadlines, or work. The only difference is, they don't wait for emotions to start. Most of us often ask ourselves, do I want to do this today? And they ask, have I scheduled this? And just that different question led to a completely different life. You see, people often think that successful people are more determined, more disciplined, more motivated, but in reality, they are not. They just have something that others have not built, a system that works independently of emotions. They don't have to make a decision every day whether to do it or not. Because for them, the decision is already made and fixed in the schedule. Have you noticed that when you procrastinate, it is usually because you are making a decision in a bad state? Tired, bored, sleepy, unmotivated, and when emotions take over, action is postponed. The solution is, don't let your emotions decide. Let the system you design do it. A simple system could be, every morning at 6 a.m., sit at the desk and write for 25 minutes. Tuesday and Friday, gym after work. Every Sunday night, plan your new week for 20 minutes. It may sound small, but these little things are the anchors that keep you from drifting away in emotional turmoil. The second secret of people who always do it first is, they believe in momentum. Actions, when repeated, create a natural momentum, like a spinning wheel. When you first start, it takes a lot of effort. But once the wheel is rolling, it keeps spinning, almost without you pushing it. Therefore, the important thing is not to do more, but to maintain the momentum. 1 day without writing leads to 2 days without writing. One missed practice session leads to a week of inactivity. But if you keep up the pace, even if it's small, even if it's imperfect, you're keeping your wheels turning. Personally, I have lost momentum many times. Every time I do, getting back on track is always 10 times harder than maintaining it from the beginning. And I have learned that discipline is not about forcing yourself to do more, but about not letting yourself stop. And finally, what makes these people truly different is how they redefine success. You know, a lot of people don't start because they're afraid they won't do well. But people who take action are different. They don't set a standard of being great. Their standard is show up and do it, even when you don't feel like it. They don't need every practice session to break records. Every video you post doesn't need to get 1 million views. Not every line needs to be good. Success, to them, is keeping your word to yourself. It's about maintaining commitment, not positive emotions. And you can do it too. No need to wait for ready. No need to wait for inspiration. As long as you have a system, create momentum, and maintain the right definition of success, you will move forward. One step at a time. Life isn't defined by the days you feel great. It's defined by how you act on the days you don't feel like doing anything. Have you ever had a great idea, a big goal, or an important plan, but let it sit there, day after day, without getting started? We all have it, and it's not because we're not smart enough or capable enough. It's because of the gap between ideas and actions, always the hardest place to get through. There are many smart people, but not all of them take action. Successful people are not the ones with the most ideas. They are the ones who get started even when not ready. And today, I want to share with you 4 simple but extremely effective methods helps you shorten the distance from thought to action. From procrastination to execution. Blank. Underscore. Blank. First is the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes to do, do it now. Send an email. Jot down an idea. Organize your desk. Drink a glass of water. Make an appointment. Why is this little rule so powerful? Because procrastination often comes not from doing too much, but from not starting at all. When you take action in the first 2 minutes, you break the cycle of inertia. You get through the first door. And the magic is, after those 2 minutes, it's usually easier to keep going. One of my viewers tried this rule every morning. The first thing he did was fold the blanket in 2 minutes. Just that simple action, but it sends a very strong signal to the brain. Today, I am a man of action. Blank. Underscore. Blank. The second is the bad start habit. Sounds strange, right? But this is the secret of every creative, successful person I've ever known. They don't wait until they are good to start. They allow themselves to start in a poor way as long as it starts. When you accept that the first part won't be perfect, you take the pressure off your shoulders. You no longer fear being wrong. You no longer fear embarrassment. You just do it, and it is in the process of doing that you improve. You can't edit a blank page, but you can turn a bad paragraph into a better one, if you have it. I remember the first YouTube video I ever made. The lighting was off. The audio was messy. I was shaky, but if I hadn't made that video, I wouldn't have had the second, the third, and my YouTube channel wouldn't exist today. Imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. Blank. Underscore. Blank. The third method is create automatic responses. You can't rely on willpower every day to take action. Willpower is a limited resource. But if you create auto-link between an existing habit and the action you want to take, you no longer have to make a decision. For example, after making coffee every morning, right pointing arrow, write 5 diary entries. After brushing your teeth, right pointing arrow, read a page of a book. After turning off the lights, right pointing arrow, recite 3 things to be grateful for during the day. When you attach a new action to an old habit, you turn it into a reflex. And that helps you maintain it without having to fight it internally every time. Blank. Underscore. Blank. And finally, the 5 days without inspiration challenge. Think about it. If you only acted when you felt like it, how many days a week would you get things done? My answer, before, was very little. So, let's set a little challenge for ourselves. For the next 5 days, each day choose one thing that you are not excited about and start doing it. No matter what mood you're in, write down your feelings before doing and after completion. You'll be surprised to see, many times, the initial negative emotions disappear after 5 minutes of action. You don't need positive emotions to do meaningful work. You just need the courage to step through the initial moment. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Remember, action doesn't come from good ideas, it comes from good systems. You don't need to be Superman. You just need a method. One small step, one imperfect start, one simple series of habits can change the trajectory of your life. And if you've been waiting for inspiration to get started, well, this is the sign you've been looking for. Don't wait. Do it now. Have you ever asked yourself, I need inspiration to start living my life to the fullest, but when will that inspiration come? Have you ever felt like you were waiting for a miracle to start making changes? Waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for a special feeling, waiting for someone to inspire you? If you've ever been there, you're not alone. And the bigger question is, do we need emotions to start living a meaningful life? The 3 great Stoics, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, may have lived more than 2,000 years ago. But their teachings still mirror exactly what we are grappling with today. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Epictetus once said, don't wait to start living. Born a slave, living in poverty and oppression, he became one of the most influential philosophers in history. Epictetus had no choice in his circumstances, but he had a choice in how he lived them. For him, happiness does not lie in whether life favors you or not. It's not about having a lot of money, a lot of opportunities, or getting everything you want. Happiness is when you can act on reason, not emotion. Waiting for the right feeling to live is an illusion, he said, and in fact, the more we wait for the right feeling, the more we miss out on the right things. Just imagine, if you only say loving words when you feel ready, only act kindly when you are in a good mood, only do the right thing when someone is watching, are you living authentically, or just living according to the mental weather? Blank. Underscore. Blank. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic master, left behind a haunting quote: "Do the right thing, even when no one is watching." We live in an age of the spotlight. Everything is shared, celebrated, measured by likes and follows. And gradually, we equate value with recognition. But Marcus was the opposite. He believed that true value lay in doing the right thing, not in getting applause. You don't need anyone to acknowledge your efforts. You don't need anyone to validate your kindness. You just need to know what you're doing is right, and you're doing it for yourself. Not for the audience. You may not be recognized. You may not be liked. You may not be known. But you will have something even more important: respect from yourself. Blank. Underscore. Blank. And finally, there is Seneca, the writer, statesman, and Stoic philosopher, who left a profound warning. Life is not short of time, only short of beginning. Think about how many times you have said, "I'll do it when I have time." Then you surf social media for 40 minutes. Watch Netflix 3 episodes. Then he said, "It's not too late to start tomorrow." Seneca did not believe that man lacked time. He believes we waste time procrastinating. You don't need more time. You just need to procrastinate less. Every minute you begin, whether it's writing a line, learning a word, practicing a movement, is a minute that opens up your entire future. And if you don't start, you're just reliving the past. A safe loop, but also where dreams die. Blank. Underscore. Blank. So, if you're sitting there, waiting for that special inspiration to start living a meaningful life, remember this. You don't need emotions to live right. You just need reason to act. Epictetus did not wait. Marcus did not need anyone's approval. And Seneca began, while the others were waiting. The question now is, what about you? You don't have to wait for inspiration to start something important. The truth is, every time you take action, even though not interested, not wanting, even feeling lazy, you are sending a powerful signal to yourself. An unspoken, but extremely clear message. I am the boss, not my feelings. And that moment, the moment you stand up, turn on your computer, put on your shoes, sit at your desk, even though you don't want to, that was the first victory. No need to break any records. No need to achieve anything. Just start. Because you know what? Every time you start without feeling, you are stronger than all the times you waited for inspiration and missed it. Blank. Underscore. Blank. I used to think I needed to feel ready, in the mood, feel it, before starting to do something. Until I looked back and saw that the times I really made a change all started in a state of quite boring. No motivation, no passion, no inspirational background music. There is just one simple decision. I will do it, even if I don't want to. And from that decision, I built productive days, healthier relationships, habits I once thought I couldn't maintain. Blank. Underscore. Blank. That is what Stoicism emphasizes. Don't live by emotions, live by commitments. Think about it. Are your emotions stable? You may wake up in the morning feeling full of energy, but just one negative email, one unpleasant phone call, or even a cup of coffee that doesn't taste right, can ruin your mood for the rest of the day. If you let your emotions lead the way, you will live like a rudderless boat, drifting with the waves, disoriented, from want to don't want, and day by day, you are dragged along by the mental weather instead of controlling yourself. But if you live by commitment, like a soldier who keeps his oath, then the rain and sunshine in your heart no longer matter so much. You act not because it feels good, but because you choose to be that way. Blank. Underscore. Blank. And finally, I want to share with you something that may sound a bit paradoxical. Discipline is the path to freedom. Sounds contradictory, doesn't it? We often think freedom is when we can do what we like, rest when we want, eat and drink according to our inspiration, sleep as we please. But try living like that for just a week, and you'll see that freedom quickly turns into chaos. You are more tired, self-esteem drops, work piled up, guilt creeps in. Or not. Freedom doesn't come from doing what you like, it comes from being able to do what's right. Even when you don't like it. When you can overcome laziness. When you can say, I will do this, and actually do it. No emotional support needed. When you are not dependent on your mood or your mood. That's when you're truly free. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Stoic philosophy does not promise an easy life. It doesn't tell you to live by positive emotions, wait for inspiration. Instead, it invites you to step into a stronger version of yourself, where you are no longer controlled by emotions, but rather choosing the response. Where you react for what is right, not for what is comfortable. And where you start, even when no motivation appears. Blank. Underscore. Blank. So, if you're waiting for a feeling of wanting to do something you know is important, I just want to say one thing. You don't need inspiration. You just need to start. And that, no matter how small, can change your life. You're sitting there, looking at a long to-do list, and the familiar question pops into your head. Do I want to do this? Sounds like a reasonable question, right? But actually, that's where procrastination begins. Because the truth is, there are days when you didn't want to do anything. Don't want to wake up early. Don't want to exercise. Don't want to work. Don't want to reply to messages. And if you let the question, do I want to do it, guide you, you'll spend the rest of the day doing nothing. Not because you are weak, but because you are human. And humans are emotionally unstable. Blank. Underscore. Blank. So instead of asking, do I want it? Try asking this. What can I start? No matter how small, right now. Yes, not all done, not all solved in a lifetime. Just one small step, one action, right now. Because when you take action, things start to change. No need to act pretty. No need to be perfect. It's okay to act poorly, but act anyway. I know it sounds counterintuitive. But many of the most successful people I've ever met, they didn't start out perfect. They start with confusion, fatigue, lack of confidence. But they do. They inch forward. And then inspiration. What you've been waiting for follows the action, not precedes it. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Do you know why so many people stay in one place, even though they have hundreds of great ideas in their head? Because they are waiting for the feeling of readiness. Wait for a better day. Wait until you feel interested. Wait until you are no longer tired. But the question is, are you ever truly 100% ready for something important? Usually not. And if you wait, you'll miss out on thousands of opportunities, not because you're not good enough, but because you don't start. Blank. Underscore. Blank. I'm not saying you have to do something big. I'm just inviting you to do one small thing. Wash a dish. Write a note. Open a work file. Turn off phone notifications. Stand up and stretch. A simple action, like a switch. It gives back a sense of control. It reminds you you're still in control. And most importantly, it helps you regain your faith in yourself. Blank. Underscore. Blank. There is one thing I want you to take away from this video. Don't wait until you want to do something. Do something and it will come. Don't wait until you feel excited to start. Just start. You'll feel excited while doing it. And if you're not excited, that's okay. Action is still valuable, even if it's not accompanied by positive emotions. That is true maturity. That's when you live by commitment, not emotion. Blank. Underscore. Blank. So, I want you to stop right now and ask, what can I start? Even just 1% right now. No need to be perfect. No need to wait for full energy. No need to feel ready. Just do one small thing, with great courage. Have the courage to start, even if you don't want to. Have the courage to act, even when you feel down. Courage to live as a driver, not a person dragged by emotions. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Because you deserve to live an active life. And that starts right at the first action you're about to take after this video.